Hello Pisces, this is your reading for June 2018 for love and relationships. So just give me a few more seconds and then I'll cut the cards. Okay, your first card is the Chariot in reverse. You have Seven of Cups. You have an Ace of Cups. I have the Shadow side in reverse. This is Page of Pentacles. I have a Three of Swords. Two of Swords. We're heading into the future here. I have a King of Pentacles. And then a Nine of Wands. And then I will pull the outcome card after the main reading. Okay, so interesting here, lots of water energy that's showing up here in your past. And this, as far as major arcana, you have two, which I think say a lot here. You have this Chariot in reverse, and then you have that Shadow side reverse. Now the Chariot is all about moving forward through obstacles, and it's about success and achieving your dreams. You see that moon here in the background. You see the white and the black horse, the conscious and the subconscious. So when it's reversed, I feel like you're emotionally stuck right now. You're supposed to move on. There's an obstacle, an emotional obstacle that you're dealing with, and it's very difficult for you to move on. And of course, this could definitely be about a relationship that might be in limbo, that might have ended. And I feel like I feel like it's very difficult for you emotionally, because with this moon reversed, whenever the subconscious is reversed, we're looking at blocks, things that happened in the past, your emotional attachments that are sort of holding you back. So that's my strongest impression about a relationship, that I feel like some of you Pisces are very connected to the past, and it's difficult for you right now to move on. And it can also be about a fear of commitment as well, considering this is a relationship reading. But yeah, sometimes this is about not just moving on physically, but I feel like there are emotional blocks from the past, or something in the past in the relationship that you're afraid to let go of. Especially since you're very watery. So we have that Seven of Cups. This is about making an emotional choice. You have to choose one cup. And the interesting thing is that you do get that one cup. You do get that Ace of Cups here. So what I'm feeling out here is, one, because the past, we start off with this Chariot in reverse, and it feels like this Chariot in reverse has led to some type of emotional choice where I feel like you said to yourself, I can't move on just yet. I want to try one more time to reconcile with someone. Or maybe you and this other person or partner tried to reconcile. Because what happens here now as we move on is that the Shadow side's reversed. And the Shadow side is about overcoming your demons. throwing off and getting away from evil influences, someone who's manipulating you. But once again, I feel like because this is right under that Chariot, that this is about your own emotional demons and your fears and things, relationship issues that you've gone through over and over again for some of you. And you've gone back into that dark place. And I feel like part of it is that because you're in this mode to where there's a relationship or an aspect of relationship you need to move on from, but you just can't. Maybe there's still some hurt or pain from that relationship that you're still dealing with. So then after that shadow side is reversed, you have the Page of Pentacles. And this is about problem solving, and it's about being practical. And sometimes I also interpret it as a reality check. And after that Page of Pentacles, I get a Three of Swords, and it's right under this Ace of Cups. So I get that stronger impression that you were hoping for something in a relationship and it didn't work out, or this person turned you down and they says, no, I don't want to go through this again, or you were, I keep getting this sense of hope from the Ace of Cups that you were waiting for someone to come back, or you felt that there was a possibility. But with this shadow side and then the Page of Pentacles bringing everything back down to reality, then you're going through that process of realizing, no, it might not happen again. Now this can happen in different ways. It doesn't necessarily mean for some of you Pisces that someone's never coming back. But I also feel that some of you are in relationships that go through a cycle where someone gets your hopes up or you think the relationship's going well, and then suddenly with the shadow side you're blindsided. And so as you head into the future, what I see unfolding is you have that Two of Swords here. And the Two of Swords, like the Seven of Cups, is about having to make a decision. And sometimes it's about being trapped between your head and your heart. Sometimes it's not just necessarily two people disagreeing or two people unable to come to some common ground. Sometimes it's about detachments from our head and our heart. Sometimes it's about choosing between our head and our heart. Sometimes you see with the blindfold here, sometimes it's denial. Sometimes we don't want to see what the reality of a relationship is, where we can't drop one of the swords. That's one of my favorite descriptions of the Two of Swords, because when you hold one sword, it means that you have clarity. And like the Ace of Swords, that one sword is about decisions and judgment and clarity, seeing truth. And you can't drop one of those swords. You can't accept. For some of you, it's about acceptance of what is. And note how you go from that Three of Swords and then you go to a Two of Swords. The swords are falling out, and you got to you have to let that last sword fall so that you can see things for what they are. But I feel like some of you are, it's a gradual process. So when we come to this King of Pentacles, I kind of feel like there are kind of new possibilities with a different person. And it could also mean that with this Two of Swords being in front of this King of Pentacles, that you might, it's almost as if some of you might not be ready to move on to a new relationship. There's someone who's interested in you, who is waiting for a chance to get to know you and look into the possibilities of a relationship. And so you're going to be, this feels like a big transition for you to where you have to decide, okay, I'm going to give this a chance. And so that's when the Nine of Wands comes in. And the Nine of Wands is all about learning from the past. And it's about being careful and cautious. And, not letting things not letting history repeat itself. So overall, yeah, I do kind of feel, Pisces, that you're going through a transition, that some of you might have been really let down this past winter, and there are new possibilities that are coming ahead for you. And I think that's a good thing. But I am going to shuffle for that outcome card. Okay, here we go. And the outcome card is a Six of Wands. And that's a nice resolution here, that you're going to be on top again. If you are afraid of moving on, the oracle seems to be saying, don't be afraid. Learn from the lessons of the past once and for all. Be willing to take a chance again. And as I said, I kind of feel like for some of you, this is about a relationship that really meant a lot to you, that had become so much a part of your life, and now you have to accept changes, and you have to go in new directions now. And as I said, it's not just one particular story. This can play out in different ways. But in the end, with the Six of Wands, I feel that you're going to sort of you'll be able to pat yourself on the back, and you'll be able to say, yay, I did it. Okay? You confronted your fears, you went through the pain, and you're coming out on top. So, thank you guys so much for your support. I know some of you were worried about me, especially you, Gracie Milan. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you. There are those of you who really appreciate the readings, and you've told me so. You really have missed my readings every month, so I'm getting back in the saddle, feeling much better. So thank you again. I wish you love and light as always, and I will see you next month.